Greetings, I'm Drake about Marvel, and welcome to the start of my YouTube channel on my birthday. So, let me explain why my YouTube channel is starting on my birthday. My birthday. My birthday. It's cause I've had an idea like a while ago, like, maybe I should have my YouTube channel start on my birthday, so that way we can celebrate my YouTube channel on my birthday. But a event happened. Well, yeah, well, not really an event, but yeah, kind of an event, but yeah, let's first share this. Share it to my community. The birth of my YouTube channel on my birthday. Happy birthday to me. But sadly, my first video, which is this video, I'm starting my YouTube channel off with a sad video. A very sad video, which yeah, I'm still distraught. Oh, thank you, Lord. Okay. Okay, so Songs of War got canceled like a month ago, and it took me a while to recover from that. I'm still recovering, but no, I don't think I'll ever recover, honestly. So yeah, all that I did was write the title of the cancellation, and I just started crying, and I've not watched the video yet. So okay, let's just read the description in this. I'm not yelling, I talk in all caps because it makes me feel bold. That is so true. I haven't watched it yet because... Wait, no. I haven't watched it yet, but I saw the title and my heart was ripped out, and now I feel so empty, and my heart started to burn, including my chest, my head, and I really did cry. I've watched Songs of War 198 times, including the bloopers. And that's not including listening to the soundtrack and watching it in my head, which technically I've watched Songs of War 220 times. I almost said 28 times because of the 8 up there, but I've watched Songs of War 220 times, and I'm very dead inside. Hold on. And yeah, I'm going to be reacting to the Songs of War cancellation. I honestly didn't want to start my YouTube channel with a sad video, but it needs to be done. This just needs to be done. And if I cried just by looking at the title, I'm going to cry. I'm actually starting to get really emotional right now. Okay. There is probably like a 99% chance that I'm going to cry. Maybe a 100% chance. So, yeah, let's click the YouTube video. I'm actually kind of scared. I'm so distraught. Okay. Oh my gosh. Let me first say something, that Songs of War is the best the best story and animation that Black Plasma Studios has done so far. Second place is Animation Life, and yeah, I'll like rank the videos in in a different video where I'm not so sad. Okay, let's just. It's my birthday! Yay! Celebrating a sad video on my birthday. Man, I love Songs of War. I'm gonna die.
Hey everyone, David here, director of Songs of War, with a rather unfortunate announcement. As of today, Songs of War Season 2 and 3 are officially cancelled. I know this is...
Okay.
pretty bad news for everyone. A lot of people have been really looking forward to this. I was really looking forward to this, Season 2 and 3. But in this video, I'll try to keep this video kind of short. I'm just going to kind of first explain, what happens now, and then I'm going to explain a bit about why it was actually canceled for those people who are curious.
Man, my heart.
Yeah, if you're unhappy, feel free to hit the dislike button and stuff. But honestly, if you liked Songs of War, more reason to show your support. Hit the like button, leave a comment, let us know about how much Songs of War meant to you. Let us know how much you enjoyed it. I know, when things are canceled, it's never good. I've had a lot of things that were either canceled or things like Half-Life that I was really into and just, to this day still haven't been finished and probably never will be. So I know the feeling, I know how frustrating it is when...
Oh my gosh. I'm just... We're 59 seconds and I'm starting to cry. I know Songs of War, like, every single line on it, and like every character, I know everybody on Songs of War, and oh my gosh. Yeah, we're 33 minutes in, or no, we're 59 seconds in for 33 minutes. Oh my gosh, this is gonna take such a long time. Okay. What was I saying? Well, I'm just saying that I know Songs of War like the back of my hand. Like, I know every line, and like listening to the music, like the soundtrack from After Infinity music. That person makes really good music. Gotta listen to it. I've listened to that okay, I can't do math right now, so 120 times. I mean, no, not 120 times, 220 times. So, and I watched Songs of War 298 times. So I think I've listened to the soundtrack 20 times, maybe 20 times or more. And just by doing that, I watch it in my head. Well, of course we got that down, but let's just watch this. I won't pause it again. Okay, I can't promise that, but this is all I'm going to explain for right now. Okay.
really get invested in something and then just doesn't continue. So first of all, before I talk about kind of why it was canceled, briefly go over kind of what happens next. The first thing is I'll be releasing the script. We were considering doing something kind of in the middle between releasing the script and releasing like the full series. We were considering doing some kind of like still image, kind of like voiced comic thing. We were considering doing like a big, like basically an audio play kind of thing as well, getting all these different recordings. But what it really came down to me was anything kind of in the middle seemed almost not worth it. Like putting extra work into something that still isn't the big full thing didn't seem quite right. So we're just going to release the script. So I'll have that linked in the description. We're going to have the script, basically the full Songs of War script in this description. Got all season 2 and 3 and everything. A big warning though before you start reading it is that there were a lot of things in season 2 and season 3 that we were going to change. Like pretty big things. And I'll be talking about that in some of the future videos, which I'll be mentioning in just a moment. But so as you read the script, take some of it with a grain of salt. Season 2 and 3 were never really fully finished writing. We did
So
try to
they
finish
were
all the writing for
unofficial.
like the characters who were in season 1 so they could be voiced, but there was a point where we wanted to just kind of prioritize finishing season 1 stuff, and we kind of left some season 2 and 3 things kind of half done. So you'll notice some of the characters that are introduced in season 2 and 3, sometimes their dialogue might just seem a little rough, not very polished, not very well written, I guess. And there were also a few story arcs that we were actually going to change around a bit. We had some pretty good ideas while making season 1, realized we could change some stuff. And I'll be talking about that in some videos very shortly. But I just wanted to let you know as you're reading it, although it's still pretty cool, just keep in mind if some...
Okay, let me just say something first. It takes a while. It takes patience, like a lot of patience to do something like this. And, like, it takes at least like 2 years to do a movie, like, to get a movie done. Or like the sequel or whatever. And yeah, Songs of War just barely came out, and now they're just giving up on it. Like, oh, the season 2 script is not good enough or whatever. But no. You guys didn't have enough patience to do... Oh my gosh, I'm so upset right now. I'm distraught. My skin says it all. I'm distraught. Before the cancellation happened, I actually made a little audition for Songs of War as Luna, and so I'll show that in a little while after this. So okay, let's keep watching this.
to seem a little off, just remember that, we were planning on redoing things. So yeah, so the script is there. The next thing that is right below the script will probably be, I'm probably just going to give out the entire Songs of War drive, which includes basically every single thing that was made for Songs of War. It'll have the world file in there if you want to have the world file and go around the world yourself. It's got all the assets if you're into Blender and you want all the blend files. All the blend files will be in 2.79. It's got all the songs, all the skins for season 2 and 3 characters that haven't been introduced, the full weapon pack without anything taken out of it and everything. So all that stuff's in there if you want to kind of learn from it, play with it, make fan art from it. Even just use all the skins for your own skin stuff. Some of the skins for later characters are just cool for your own amusement. A warning about the skin, or a warning about the Songs of War drive and all the assets. These weren't really meant to be given out. A lot of these contain kind of more private things, and by that I mean more like things like voice bloopers that might have a lot of swearing in it and stuff, which you might find offensive or whatever. So
most likely from Carl.
just fair warning, if you go into it knowing this wasn't really supposed to be shared, and if you're going into it, just try to keep that in mind. I know we have a lot of memes and stuff that are probably more adult humor, and there are even things like you can actually find the original voice recordings of all the voice actors as we were in the things, and that might be a little more personal and private to them, so just keep that in mind. Don't go I prefer if you downloaded it to just kind of keep it to yourself. If someone else wants it, just link them to it or something, and they can... Well, actually, I'm going to have to actually delete the thing pretty soon, which I'll get to in a moment. So actually, if you want to grab it quick. Grab the files you want soon, because I'm actually going to be deleting them pretty shortly. That's one of the reasons why we had to cancel things coming up soon. But yeah, anyway, just keep that in mind, because I can think of a few things right off the top of my head that were really funny to us, but obviously it's kind of things you wouldn't really go sharing normally. It's kind of things you shouldn't be sharing on the Discord, so don't start grabbing the memes and posting them on Discord, otherwise some of them might be a little inappropriate for the Discord, might get banned anyway. But anyway, if you're into that kind of thing, you might find a lot of hilarious memes, or bloopers, or behind the scenes and stuff that, we found it funny. You might find it funny too, but some people might not find it funny. That's the point I'm getting at. So, yeah, so the files are out there. And then, as for the other stuff out, what's next, 'cause you got the
I just need
script,
to walk around.
you got files. If you want to play with all the files, you want to play with all the stuff. And I'm going to be doing 2 videos, one on season 2, one on season 3, very shortly. In fact, I might even record that like in just a moment after dinner tonight. And I'm going to be just giving like a full kind of solo commentary on what would have happened. I'll take you on a tour around the world and kind of show the locations as I'm kind of explaining them. So it's basically going to be kind of, you'll probably want to read the script first, and then after you finish the season, you can watch that video, and I'll talk about the season that you just read, and then I'll be showing like all the sets where they were, kind of explaining things. I'll be talking about some of the different story stuff we would have changed, we were planning on changing. I'll even maybe like pull open some skin stuff and show you some of the skins and whatnot. So even though you don't get to experience it fully, you get to read it, and then I'll get to show you all the cool builds that were made, all the cool skins that were made, all the cool weapons, all this awesome stuff that was made for season 2 and 3 and never got to be seen. I'll try to get as much of that stuff at least shown. So that'll be cool. That'll be good, just kind of general commentary and stuff to have things explained. And then after that, I'm thinking of doing maybe one last kind of Q&A video in case people have any, just now that, once they finish season 2 and they finish season 3 and they've finished reading all that, they finished, hearing my 2 commentaries, then I was thinking about having one just final Q&A in case people just wanted to ask general questions about the series, about the stuff like the story and stuff that they've read, questions about like, why it was canceled and stuff. Although there's not too much more we can say about that beyond what I'll be explaining shortly. But if people just have anything they want to know about and stuff, I'd be happy to talk about it. Sorry, I think the truck's back. Cursed truck. Anyway, so yeah, so that's about it for what's coming. Oh, and I also have there'll probably be a few other little short videos, Songs of War related, that I'll release. Some of them might be kind of silly and stupid, but that's kind of the point. Like, I might even take the rest of the voice bloopers from season 2 and 3, make another video, like the voice blooper from season 1 video that came out, in case people want to just kind of watch that in a more condensed form without having to like dig through the whole 1 terabyte drive or whatever. And I'll also be releasing other just kind of short videos on BPC, on this same channel here, Black Magic Community. So, some new videos coming. You get the script, you get the assets. I know it's not great, I know it's not as good as the season itself. I know you'll never get all the cool stuff. So now kind of moving on to why it was canceled, why it wasn't going on, why we're not continuing it. And if you saw my channel, if you saw my video I released on my personal channel, on my David channel, a few months ago, you'll probably have pretty good insight to this already, and that was kind of the main factor, but I'll kind of go over this again, but there's a lot more factors beyond that. The first thing was, the first reason it was kind of canceled or whatever, is if I rewind back about a year and a half ago, kind of when we were working on Songs of War, we've been working on it a long time, and I was starting to realize just how much longer this series was going to take me. I don't think people will ever realize just how much work I put into this. I might even put some stuff on the screen right now showing like the amount of hours I have logged, the amount of scenes I had to complete, the amount of all the lighting, the faces, the editing, the skins, the builds, the so much stuff I worked on all day, every day, without weekends, without vacations, for basically 3 years. Some of those years, some of that time was spent working on other animations. But when I was doing that, I was pretty much doing those all full-time every day, all day. And I'd basically been working on Songs of War constantly, and it took all that to get just season 1 done. So I was realizing, a few years ago, about a year ago, that to do season 2 and 3, I was going to be spending maybe 2, maybe 3, and maybe 4 more years on this series. While I enjoy Songs of War, and I'm a huge fan of Songs of War, I'm Songs of War's biggest fan, honestly. I was the one who wanted to make it in the first place. And as much as I like Songs of War, I personally didn't want to invest another 4 years of my life into one series unless it was just doing like phenomenally good. And I was about 25 at the time. I think I'm 26 now, and I didn't really want to be like almost 30 years old and just finishing some Minecraft animation stuff and then still wondering like, okay, now what? So that was the first big thing that made me consider that I might not want to be doing this as a full-time thing all day, every day for the next 4 years of my life. So I started thinking, okay, what if it doesn't do very well? Am I still going to keep doing Songs of War if it's not doing too well? What if it is doing well? Am I still going to want to do it? So that was the point where I started thinking I really wanted to... if we were going to do season 2 and 3, I wasn't going to be as heavily involved. I was going to try to like hire more people to take over more stuff and actually give myself time to like work on other things on the side. pursue other stuff I was enjoying. So that was the first factor, but that's not why I canceled, obviously. You know, we were considering, okay, why not still do it on the side? Why not have other people do it? And then the first real thing that happened was, you know, the release came. And as I mentioned in the video on my channel that was there for a while, was that, you know, episode 1 did great. Did really good for a little while, but then it started slowing down a bunch. Most of the views actually came from end screens. What I did is I went through every single animation I've ever made, changed the end screen element to link to Songs of War episode 1, and that's why Songs of War was getting the views it was getting, is because I was just, from all my other animations, I was trying to lead people to Songs of War. But if you took out the end screens, it really wasn't getting many views, which was bad. It wasn't getting any traffic on its own. It wasn't like in the algorithm. So episode 1 was doing, you know, did great for a little bit, slowed down. Episode 2 did kind of good and slowed down. But after that, it was just pretty much downhill. 3, 4, 5, none of them did very well. I mean, I say not did well. They got a few million, kind of. I don't think 4 and 5 even really, they barely crested 1 million or whatever.
I don't think that matters.
6 did a little better. 7, 8, and 9 were all really awful. 10 did okay and then stopped again. But in short, every single one of them, they would get views on the release from all the people who were interested in the series, and then it would just stop. It would just die. The views would drop to almost 0 per day after, not quite 0, but very low. It'd go from like a few 100,000 on the first day down to like a half 100,000, down to like 10,000, down to like 1,000, down to 0. Or basically, it was crazy just how much it was just being seen by our subscribers, and it just wasn't getting out there. It just wasn't being shared. YouTube wasn't sharing it. Wasn't being like, you know, just pushed to people or recommended to people or whatever. So that was the first big problem. That was the first, you know, we were kind of counting on about 4 million views per episode. That was kind of what we were hoping. We were thinking if we get about 4 million views per episode, that's a good minimum. That's what we were thinking is like the minimum. Because there's the saying that you make about $1 per 1,000 views. And that's never really true, honestly. We usually make about 50 cents or less per 1,000. But in the case of Songs of War, we found, because it had actually better demographics, there's actually a lot more US viewers on Songs of War than our other animations, and because they were all 10 minutes, we actually did get pretty close. In fact, actually, I think we got about $1 per 1,000 on all of them. So we were thinking, okay, 4 million minimum, 10 episodes, that's $40,000. And I know that sounds like a whole bunch of money, and I'll be talking about a little bit of that more in a second. $40,000 sounds like, that sounds great. We're thinking, okay, $40,000 for, you know, all day, everyday work for about 2 years, plus having to then pay off all the people who worked on Songs of War, which, you know, there was an investment in Songs of War. We had to pay animators, we had to pay musicians, we had to pay voice actors, and there's a lot of people who even didn't get paid that, you know, should have been paid, but they were nice enough to volunteer. We were thinking that'd be good. Unfortunately, you know, like I said, all the episodes were only getting about 1 million, so that, you know, 40 million views we were hoping turned into more like, you know, a few million from the first few, and then it was just like 1 million each. It ended up being way less, you know, maybe 20 million-ish, so we weren't even like halfway towards our minimum. And that's about the point where you guys would have seen on my if you're on Discord, that's about when I started saying, okay, you know, don't stress it, we'll see how the movie does. But I was also at the same time saying, you know, don't expect season 2 at this point. We're just focusing on getting season 1 out there. If it does great, then we'll do season 2.
It has
but
done great.
I was honestly starting to kind of lose confidence at that point. I was seeing that the type of content we made wasn't really something that had this big, large Minecraft audience like our other animations. It seemed to be something that, while people who watched it loved it, a lot of people just weren't interested in that kind of thing. So then the movie comes out, and it actually started doing kind of good for a little bit. I was actually kind of optimistic a few weeks in. It was actually growing in views, which is what we wanted. It had its normal like tail, but then the tail started rising, and that's what we were hoping. And that started going up and up, and we were like, oh, this is actually maybe looking promising. And right when it started looking promising, that started going back down, and now it's just down to, you know, another kind of dead video. Songs of War full movie is not even in our top 10 videos, and normally the full movie is always getting the top 10, and normally all making a lot, and that one, the Songs of War full movie fell out of the top 10. Now it's not even like the music videos are making more in it and stuff. So then that fell out of the top 10, and that was really looking pretty unlikely. So that's the story on the videos themselves, if you're curious, and I'll pull up some stats and stuff about that. But yeah, basically the videos started really kind of falling off. The videos themselves did do great. However, there were some other things that did do great, and this is why I kept reconsidering this, and this is why I was kind of on the fence for so long, and this is why it's taken me many months before making this announcement, because we were really having a hard time making decisions. Because even though the videos were doing poor, you know, like I said, the earnings per views were a lot higher, which was good. So even though they were making less views than our other animations, they were actually making more money per views. We also had the merchandise. Our Songs of War merchandise did great. Thank you everyone who got Songs of War merchandise. I hope you've been enjoying the merch. That was a huge, huge help. It was one of the reasons we were really getting close to considering Season 2 was the merchandise, and then the Patreon. Patreon was the other thing. Everyone who pledged to the Patreon during that month, we just completely destroyed all our records for Patreon growth, for the amount of people supporting the series and the channel itself. So another big thanks to the patrons for supporting that. And when I was telling you guys how much that helped, people were like, oh, does $1 really help? I'm like, no, it really does. Every dollar led to that big growth we had. And I wasn't kidding when I said that was a big difference. Because if you look at, you know, what I was saying about, oh, the series maybe made, you know, 20, 30,000 or whatever. And then you look at the fact that Patreon alone made 40, oh, sorry, I almost said 40. The Patreon made 4,000 in 1 month. And then a lot of people stayed pledged for the next month or two. That was a huge help. That was a big dent in the amount we needed. So with the Patreon and merch combined, we actually did kind of get real close to that minimum I was saying. And this is why it got kind of stuck for a while, because I was like, man, you know, we did make kind of enough that we were shooting for, and it had a lot of advantages going towards it, but at the same time, the videos just really aren't performing. You know, looking at the stats, it's like, you know, all the videos were dying off. All the videos weren't getting shared. We'd release it, and it would, like, kind of dwindle below 1 million after opening month. And then around the same time, you know, we had things like Village Raid came out that just destroyed everything. Songs of War looked like nothing compared to Village Raid. We had Ocean Monument, just another kind of Alex and Steve adventure. That one also just completely destroyed all the Songs of War stats. Even just recently, the new zombie one came out, and once again, just completely destroyed everything. So there's all these other videos coming out that are doing great, and then when we do Songs of War, it doesn't even get like a quarter of those views. We were kind of hoping Songs of War would have all these extra things going for it, like the merch, the Patreon, the better ad rates, but still get those kind of views. But it just wasn't. If you actually look at my animations, of every animation I've ever done, Songs of War was basically all of the worst videos. Pretty much everything else I've done did better than all the Songs of War stuff. So, you know, it was really me asking, like, you know, why do it at that point? It's why work on something, go through all this extra work, all this extra money, all this extra time for something that's just going to do worse when you can do something just shorter, quicker, that just gets way more views. And I know, you know, so, but obviously the answer to that is, you know, why do it? Because we love it. Because we like Songs of War a lot. You know, it's obvious the people who liked Songs of War had all kinds of cool fan art and engagement and stuff. And that was the big, you know, oh, let's do it anyway, though, because people love it. But then this is where I get to some of the kind of final thoughts, was that, so near the end we were stuck on it, like, let's do it because we love it, but it's not making hardly any money. But what it really came down to in the end was, if I'm not really involved that much as I want Songs of War to happen, you know, there's other things I want to do with my life. I know it's hard to think about these kind of things when you're young, but once you're older, once you've graduated and you're in the real world, you're paying your own bills, you're paying for your living, you're paying for your food, you know, you're trying to even, like, just meet people, have a family one day or something. You start having all these thoughts about, like, you know, what am I going to do with my life? And working all day, every day on a Minecraft animation, making basically minimum wage, less than minimum wage. You know, if you did some number crunches, maybe I'll put some on the screen, I don't know it off the top of my head, but maybe while I'm editing this video, I'll do some number crunches. Just like, if you just work minimum wage for a year, you get weekends, 8 hours a day, 5 days a week, you're still probably making more than I made on Songs of War. And I worked every day on an all day, every day, without weekends and stuff. Yes, I enjoyed Songs of War a lot more, but you'd hope with all that extra work and all that extra stuff coming in, it could have at least made minimum wage, but I don't think it really did when you really do the math. So that was the reason I kind of wanted to move on and maybe give it to other people. But I think the really deciding factor at the end was, this is the thing we kind of looked at just about a week or two ago, was if you actually look at just how much stuff I did on Season 1, while we had a lot of people help, and we had a bunch of people help with animation, all the builders help with the building and stuff. The actual like series, the animation, the lighting, the rendering, almost all of that was me. All the layout, all the camera work, the camera polish, the animation polish itself, polishing other people's animation, doing the faces, doing the lighting, doing the polishing, doing the effects, doing the editing, doing the sounds. All this stuff was on me. I had done all that stuff. So if you drop me out of the equation, that's now tons and tons of more people that we're going to have to do it. Tons more people we're going to have to pay. Even the animation itself, I did almost half the animation. So we're already going to need like double the animators. And that's just to get the animation done again. And then we got to have people do the layout and do the camera and do the effects and do the lighting and stuff. So it would have been way, way more costly. We would have been talking like, you know, it would have cost more than all of season 1 even made. And that means I would have not made any money myself and probably would have actually lost money myself. So that was the kind of main thing we were thinking of recently. So then the other thing we were thinking of, okay, well, maybe we can kind of do it, but maybe kind of do it a little cheaper, do it a little, you know, maybe not put all the work into it we can, but at least have it exist, have it animated, get a bunch of maybe volunteers to take it. But what I was really thinking was, I think Songs of War, what made it great was everyone working onto it just really put all their love, put all their passion into it. It had this big vision, it had, you know, in a way, my direction. I had a singular kind of direction to the whole series. We had Dan's music and everything that really matched with my vision, and we worked together so closely to get everything to work that I feel like if that wasn't there, if I wasn't involved, if I was just kind of supervising to the side, if Dan, you know, that's another, you know, Dan worked so many months, all day, every day for that, and didn't really make hardly any money off that. I did pay him, but it really wasn't much considering how good he is at music. So we were thinking if I was involved, if the music wasn't really there, we'd have to use like Epidemic music and stuff. Imagine using Epidemic music in Songs of War. Epidemic is the music library we use, so it wouldn't have like musical themes. You know, Death Singer shows up, you don't hear the Death Singer theme, you just hear some random Epidemic song. Imagine how weird that would have been. We were thinking, that's almost worse, honestly. It's like, yeah, we got it, but it's kind of weird now. It's kind of there, it's kind of the characters, but it's not. If you've ever seen like a series you like, or a game you like, a franchise you like that then gets taken by some other company and they continue it, it's the characters, you know, it's kind of there, but it's kind of not. So we were thinking, that's almost worse. It's better just to we'll give it the script, that'll have everything that was kind of there, minus the rewrites we were going to do, and that'll be that, we'll move on. So this got a lot longer than I thought. I was going to try to keep this really short, but I do want to give people the kind of answer, because I know people are going to be asking why was it canceled. I did want to spend some time actually giving some answers. I was going to go into more data in the video, but honestly, you guys don't need to know every little bit of data. The point was, you know, we looked through the data, we looked through all kinds of data. I probably have been showing some graphs, but the point was it just wasn't doing very well. It was making so much less than just a minimum wage. Could have just quit. They could have quit this, gone minimum wage at a job, and then done some other thing on the side. So then, and that's what some people were saying. They're like, oh, why don't you just do it as a passion project on the side? But to me, as much as I love Songs of War and I was really excited for it, that wouldn't be my ultimate passion project. We did Songs of War because Minecraft animations were doing well and we could do it as a living, and I was hoping we could make a really cool Minecraft animation that was awesome and continued to make money to continue to make enough money to make a living. But if I just was working like part-time job and could do any passion project on the side and didn't have to worry about like whether it was making money, I wouldn't be doing Minecraft animation. I'd be doing game design, which is what I've been doing these past few months. Now, after Songs of War ended, I've been working on making games. And like I said in my own video, but I'll repeat again here, for me, making games was always kind of the end goal. I've always wanted to move into making games. That was what I kind of really enjoyed in college. But it just kind of happened that Minecraft animations was a thing we did, started making money, so we did Minecraft animations. But especially Dan and I, you know, we'd be joking and stuff like when we'd be doing music, and he'd be like, oh, it's gonna be so much easier when we're on games and we'll be able to get the score that just kind of fits like the level and the atmosphere rather than kind of fitting to the picture and stuff. And I was like, yeah, I can't wait to make games as well. It's gonna be so much fun because I can just kind of set this particle system up to work every time the character shoots, and I don't have to kind of reposition it every single frame. And we were kind of joking about these things, but then when Songs of War started doing poorly, it was really just like, you know, why wait? Why wait another 4 years, slog through this series that's not making any money? And although I enjoy it, it's kind of bumming me out because of just how poor it's doing the algorithm. So I was like, let's just go on, make games. Don't worry about having the series come out in kind of a half form. We'll just release a script.
No.
There were two other little reasons why it kind of canceled. One of them was the more recent reason. I've begun work on the game, my first game I'm going to be working on. We did a lot of kind of learning and prototypes and testing and stuff, but as of now I'm actually starting the first game, and I was trying to clear out a lot of my space, and I want to have like my game drive syncing and everything, rather than buying a whole new hard drive and syncing that one and buying more Google Drive space. I figured I'll just swap the space out, give the assets out to people. I know it's not that much money to get a hard drive, but at this point, Songs of War is pretty much canceled anyway. Also, I did reach out to people, if you're curious, if like, oh, why didn't you promote it more? Why didn't you share it? You know, I did try. I contacted multiple people. I contacted Captain Sparkles at one point on email, but he has like an agent, and the agent just ignored my email. Contacted Mojang twice, both times they didn't respond to my email. I was just trying to see if I could like. I tried different things, both emails. First time I tried to just see if they had any opportunities for like showcasing cool content. I told them how we made this huge 2-hour movie. They just sent auto replies, never responded to my stuff, even though I responded to the auto replies asking for a good response. Second time I asked them about like if they had a marketing team, get in contact with them. Again, auto replies, never got back to me. I put out a few tweets, tagged a bunch of big Minecraft people who worked at Mojang on the community team. Never heard anything about that. It just kind of sizzled. Nothing really came of it. And I know people have been trying to push it, but you know, we shouldn't have to be pushing it this crazy. If it's doing that poorly, that we're having to push it so hard to even get it to do decently, that's just not really worth it. So that's that. That's a lot of reasons culminating to its kind of cancellation. It's honestly just kind of time to move on. I know it's sad, but honestly, at the end of the day, there's a lot of other good stuff out there. I know Songs of War was cool, but once you read the script, you'll read it, you'll finish it, you'll hear these commentaries. Hopefully that'll bring you at least closure. I definitely didn't want to leave like a Half-Life scenario, because for me, I was really into Half-Life, and for me, the story's still open. It's not done. They finished it in Half-Life 2 Episode 2 and just kind of left it on a cliffhanger, and there's nothing happened. I still know what happened to the story. So I've always had this open feeling of unfinishedness for that series for so long now. I didn't want to leave people with that. So at least now you can at least read it, bring some closure to it, and move on. There's plenty of other good stuff out there. There's plenty of good movies, plenty of good games, plenty of good other stuff and whatnot.
It is good.
And
this is great.
Yeah, and you'll get to enjoy all the other cool stuff in there, all the cool content, all the voice bloopers and things. In a way, it's kind of fun. You can actually get all this at once. We don't have to wait for a whole nother like 2 years for season 3 and stuff. Go through the whole process again. That was another thing. It was like it was this difficult to get season 2 happen. We were like, we don't want to do season 2 and then have all this problem again and have it difficult to make season 3, and then we're kind of stuck at the end of season 2 feeling obligated to make a third season, and people move on. You know, I feel bad, all these people who helped with Songs of War. Although they, you know, some of them said they don't mind volunteering. Some of the volunteers actually did kind of say they kind of felt like they should get paid, and I agreed that, you know, I do feel like they also should have been paid, but, you know, if they got paid, the series would have done even worse, and it would have been even more unlikely for there to be season 2 and 3. People like the animators, they deserve more.
Hold on. Okay, I'm back.
Like Dan, doing the music, he deserves more, better opportunities, not working all day every day for something that's just kind of dwindling on YouTube. So, yeah, kind of depressing, but also maybe, you know, kind of on a happy note that get the stuff, get to see the things. I'm moving on to things I'm enjoying more, and hopefully, you know, if you enjoy games, you enjoy playing video games, you might enjoy some of the games I'm working on in the future. I mentioned in my personal channel about the game stuff, about how, you know, my first games might not be amazing. It's not going to be anything like Songs of War at first, you know. I'm not making a Songs of War game. That's a whole lot of work, and why do that for a series that's not doing well anyway? But, you know, my first games might be kind of meh, but they might. I was telling people, treat it like a spider tack. My first game will be a spider tack. It's going to be like the test. It'll be cool. People might think it's kind of silly and dumb, but then I'd make the farm hunts a little better. Then I make bigger things, make Blocking Dead. Oh, that's cool. Get some attention. Make big series like Animation Life, and eventually get to the point where you can make a Songs of War again. That's kind of my goal with games. I'd rather end up making a really big, awesome thing that's a game that people can play a whole bunch, play with their friends. You can just build one big cool world. They can explore the whole thing. So that's my goal now. So I'm going to wrap this up now. It's 30 minutes. I was hoping this would be just like a 5-minute video. I underestimated how long it would take to explain all the reasons it was canceled, but it's that. So check in the description. I'll put the script for season 2 and 3. Well, it's basically the whole script. I'll put the script in there. Remember the warning that it's not really finished. Also, I think there are bits in season 2 and 3 that you'll be reading where it might even mention things where it's like, unknown to the viewer at the time, this is this character, because it was kind of written for my own memory. So when I'd go in there, I'd remember. There's a bit where it talks about like Volcanus, and you hadn't even met Volcanus yet. So yeah, there's that, and then below that I'll be putting the links. I think the drive link is actually gonna have to be multiple different links because I think it just wasn't letting me link the overall folder for some reason the other day. But all that stuff's there. There'll be different links for that, which is good. You can sort through it. You don't need to download the whole thing. I think you can go into the folders and like download individual stuff. And again, the warning on those, just keep them to yourself. If people want it, you can just kind of send it to them individually. But you know, remember that there's stuff in there that's not really appropriate. There's stuff in there that might be a little more personal. There's stuff in there that might be a little more private. But you know, I figured, you know, have fun, enjoy it anyway, as long as you don't abuse it. Don't go grab like the swearing lines and throw the swearing lines in Discord and be like, haha, listen, he's saying the F word, and then you're just gonna get yourself banned off this Discord or something. So that's that. As for other videos, keep an eye on PPC for the Mark videos coming out. If you want to follow my game stuff, I want to start, follow my personal channel, David RB. I want to start changing that channel into more of my gaming company stuff. I'll be showing like updates in my game. If you're not interested in any of my game stuff, you might want to unsubscribe to that channel, because that's pretty much all I'll be doing on that channel now. I won't be working on Minecraft stuff anymore. I retired from Minecraft stuff completely. I haven't been even involved in any BPS stuff anymore. So that's that. Sorry for the bad news. I'm gonna go have some dinner, and then I'm gonna edit this video. And then we'll do the other videos, and we'll do a Q&A at the end, and I'll also be a little more active on Discord if you want to kind of just catch me there. I'm actually curious to see people's responses to everything, because even though we're not getting the movie, we'll still get to see kind of people reacting on Discord and learning all these reveals and truths and stuff. So that's kind of interesting. I'm looking forward to that, and I'll at least get the ability to kind of see everyone react to all that stuff. So cool. See ya. Bye. Sorry. What a terrible way to end it. I guess I will end it on a little better of an ending than that, is that thank you everyone for watching the series. Thank you everyone for, like I said before, being engaged with it, becoming a patron, making fan art, just joining the Discord and talking about it in the Discord, making tributes, making memes. We had people doing YouTube poops of the series. That was what I was always joking, that if someone ever made YouTube poops of my content, then we'd know we'd made it. We made a cool content. People were making YouTube poops of it. Big thanks to the team. I honestly feel really bad to the team, because a lot of the team put a lot of work into stuff that hasn't even really been shown yet. Season 2 things, Season 3 things, especially voice actors. A lot of voice actors only got a little bit in Season 1. All their best stuff was in 2 and 3. And I feel really bad that it got canceled, but it's the way things go in the industry. You know, this was the pilot season. Didn't really work out. We weren't able to, get it running for Season 2 and 3. Sorry to them, but also thank you for being involved. I hope no one takes it too personally. I hope people are still kind of looking forward to, other animations on BPS and future game stuff on me. So thanks again, and see ya.
No, I will not accept that. Okay, okay, just, yep, I'm still distraught. Even more distraught now, since I watched the thing. I'm more distraught now than being distraught. I'm more distraught now than reading just the title. No. No, no, no. Sorry, I'm breathing right now, so. Okay, okay, I'm back. David RB, Arbiter 617. I need to talk to you, and you know what? We need to talk. Yeah, we need to talk. I hope this video actually gets to you, and yeah, I'm gonna need you to contact me in 2 weeks from this date, because I'm gonna have, because I am going to man, I'm so crying. Yeah. Okay. What was I saying? Yeah. We need to talk, and contact me in like 2 weeks from now, from this date, and yeah, and I'm saying so much. I'm so lightheaded right now. You won't believe it. I'm trying to laugh it off, but it's not working. I'm probably gonna go play Sky now, since it's a very peaceful game. That's the next video I'm gonna be doing, hopefully to cheer me up. And but yeah, David or B, Arbiter 617, we need to talk. And yeah, just like before, 2 weeks later from this date, contact me. I so hope this video gets to you. And now, at the beginning, remember I said my audition and stuff. Yeah, so here's my audition now. Greetings, Abiter 617. I'm Dragbot Marvel, but if you want to use our real names, you could call me Kiara and I could call you David. I'm auditioning for the voice of Luna, the Ender Dragon hybrid for Songs of War. Alright, let's do this.
No, wait! Wait, come back!
And now here's the original and my audition clip and extra audition sounds.
No, wait! Wait, come back! No, wait! Wait, come back!